Port Charles on the precipice, a tangled web of vengeance, deceit, and desperate measures. The atmospheric pressure in Port Charles has reached a critical point, with storm fronts of betrayal, madness, and long-buried secrets converging to threaten the very foundations of its most prominent families. The air is thick with a palpable tension, as the aftershocks of past sins ripple through the present, setting the stage for a series of explosive revelations. From the quiet halls of the Quartermaine mansion to the shadowy corners of the criminal underworld, a complex tapestry of interwoven crises is unraveling. A grieving mother teeters on the edge of sanity, a desperate gambit for power threatens to consume its architect, and a legendary enforcer returns to a world of peril to protect the innocent. This is a deep dive into the heart of the impending drama, an analysis of the motives, the madness, and the devastating fallout that awaits the residents of General Hospital. Part 1. The Unraveling of Willow Tate, a descent into grief or a calculated revenge. The most chilling drama is unfolding in what should be a place of peace, the nursery. The initial image of Willow Tate, Caitlin McMullen, standing over the crib of baby Daisy, the infant daughter of Sasha Corbin, Sophia Matson, and Michael Corinthos, Chad Duell, is deceptively serene. Yet, beneath the surface lies a vortex of psychological turmoil. The voiceover's revelation that Willow has been taking the infant for walks is not a sweet gesture. It is a profound violation and the first clear sign that she has stepped over a dangerous line. To understand Willow's precipitous fall, one must look back at the crucible of grief that has forged her. Willow's journey has been a relentless series of maternal tragedies. She mourned the death of her own newborn, only to later discover the child she believed was hers, Wiley, was the product of a horrific baby swap. She bonded with this child, loving him as her own, before the truth shattered her reality. In a cruel twist of fate, she then lost a subsequent pregnancy, another devastating blow. Most recently, a bitter and manipulative custody battle saw her lose primary access to Wiley and her stepdaughter, Amelia, to her now ex-husband, Michael. This cumulative, unprocessed trauma has created the perfect breeding ground for a psychological breakdown. Her anger, aimed squarely at Michael and his new partner, Sasha, is the venomous fruit of this poison tree. In her eyes, they represent a happiness she has been systemically denied. Sasha, holding her newborn Daisy, is a living, breathing symbol of everything Willow has lost. This sets the stage for the central, terrifying question: is Willow Tate having a mental breakdown, or is she orchestrating a Machiavellian revenge plot? The case for revenge, the argument for a calculated plot, is compelling. Willow, a character historically defined by her empathy and kindness, could be weaponizing her good girl image. Her actions, the unauthorized walks with the baby, the subtle gaslighting, are just erratic enough to mimic the symptoms of a postpartum mental health crisis. It's a chillingly intelligent strategy. By making Michael and others question Sasha's stability, she can sow discord and poison their newfound happiness from within. It's a slow-burn revenge, designed to inflict the same psychological torment she has endured. Losing custody has stripped her of her power, and this could be her twisted way of taking it back, proving she can still control the board, even if it's from the shadows. The case for psychosis. Conversely, the theory of dissociative identity disorder, as hinted in spoilers, offers a more tragic explanation. The immense, layered trauma Willow has faced could have realistically caused a fracture in her psyche. Perhaps a new, darker personality has emerged, an alter ego born from rage and grief, one capable of the very actions the real Willow would find abhorrent. This would explain the stark departure from her core personality. It wouldn't be an act of malice, but the tragic symptom of a mind that can no longer bear its own pain. This interpretation transforms her from a villain into a victim of her own history, making her actions all the more heartbreaking. Regardless of the cause, the consequences will be catastrophic. Willow is already trespassing at the Quartermaine mansion and violating the terms of her custody agreement. Each moment she spends near Daisy is another crime committed, another step toward a point of no return. Whether driven by a thirst for vengeance or a fractured mind, Willow is on a collision course with legal and personal ruin, and she threatens to drag everyone she loves down with her. Part 2. Sasha Corbin's recurring nightmare and the arrival of a stone-cold savior. Caught in the crossfire of Willow's unraveling is Sasha Corbin, a woman for whom the threat of being labeled mentally unstable is a recurring nightmare. The cruel irony of the situation is staggering. While Willow is the one exhibiting dangerous and unhinged behavior, it is Sasha who is likely to be viewed with suspicion. Her history is her undoing. Viewers will remember her harrowing experience at Ferncliff, where she was falsely committed and drugged by her own mother-in-law, Gladys Corbin, Bonnie Burroughs, with the help of the nefarious Dr. Damon Montague. That trauma has left an indelible scar, making her an easy target for manipulation and gaslighting. When the truth of Willow's actions inevitably comes to light, Michael's initial, and perhaps lingering, doubt of Sasha will be the most devastating blow of all. For a new mother, the questioning of her sanity and fitness is a unique and profound form of torture, one that Sasha has already experienced at the hands of her enemies. To face it again, this time potentially from the man she loves, would be a wound almost too deep to heal. Into this maelstrom of psychological warfare steps an unlikely protector, Jason Morgan, Steve Burton. His return to Port Charles has been shrouded in mystery, but his actions are becoming clearer. He is stepping in to shield Sasha and baby Daisy, a move driven by his inherent protective instincts and his complex, unshakable ties to the Corinthos dynasty. The image of them at the dockyard, preparing to go into hiding, is thick with foreboding. This isn't just a favor, it's a high-stakes operation. A new, powerful bond is being forged in the crucible of this shared fear. The relationship between Jason and Sasha is, for now, one of pure survival. It is built not on romance, but on a desperate, unspoken trust. Sasha, vulnerable and targeted, sees in Jason the one man with the skills and resolve to keep her and her child safe. In a world where she can't trust those closest to her, she is forced to place her faith in Port Charles's most proficient enforcer. The most telling detail is the revelation that baby Daisy has called Jason Dad. This single word carries immense weight. For Jason, it's a poignant reminder of the family life he has never been able to fully have. For Sasha, it's a heartbreaking symbol of her fractured reality. And for Michael, when he eventually learns of it, it will be a gut-wrenching confirmation of how far things have spun out of his control. This isn't just about protection anymore. It's about the formation of a new, unconventional family unit, born from danger and necessity, a development that will have seismic repercussions for everyone involved. Part 3. Drew Kane's perilous gambit and the high price of power. Simultaneously, another crisis is brewing, one that is directly responsible for the custody ruling that pushed Willow over the edge. Drew Kane, Cameron Matheson, in a misguided attempt to secure a victory for Willow, committed a crime that is now a ticking time bomb. His bribery of Judge Eva Heron, facilitated by the shadowy power broker Judge Sidwell, was the original sin that set this entire tragedy in motion. Driven by a desire to defeat Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watros, and Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard, Drew made a morally bankrupt decision that he is now desperately trying to undo. The wrench in his plan is Ezra Boyle, a political aspirant who has discovered Drew's secret. Boyle is now blackmailing Drew, demanding a hefty donation to his mayoral campaign in exchange for his silence. This places Drew in an impossible position. To save himself, he must keep the secret buried, but to achieve his new goal, exposing the bribery to help Willow regain custody, he must bring it to light. He is trying to clean up a mess of his own making, but every move he makes sinks him deeper into the quicksand. Drew's path to redemption is fraught with peril. By attempting to expose the crime, he is also exposing himself. He risks his reputation, his freedom, and his relationship with Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, who remains blissfully unaware of the illegal lengths he went to. The impending confrontation between Drew and Sidwell will be a clash of two powerful, manipulative men. Sidwell holds the legal cards, confident that Drew has no tangible proof. But Drew, driven by a newfound conscience, holds a truth that could shatter lives. This power struggle is unlikely to end cleanly. It's far more probable that Drew will be forced to make yet another dangerous deal, further entangling himself in a web of crime and deceit from which there may be no escape. Part 4. Corporate Collapse and Shifting Alliances. The End of Deception? The tendrils of Port Charles's criminal element have reached into the corporate world, and the fashion and cosmetics company deception is set to become collateral damage. The catalyst is a federal investigation into Sonny Corinthos' finances, specifically the blood money he illicitly invested in the company. The key to unlocking this crime lies in the records of the late Natalia Ramirez, which have been discovered by Marco Rios, a prosecutor with a personal vendetta against Sonny. This puts the Deception Ladies, Lucy Coe, Lynn Herring, Maxie Jones, Kirsten Storms, Tracy Quartermaine, Jane Elliott, and Brooklyn Quartermaine, Amanda Sutton, directly in the crosshairs. They are faced with an impossible choice: protect their company and risk federal indictment, or cooperate with District Attorney Justine Turner against Sonny in exchange for immunity. It is the ever-pragmatic Tracy Quartermaine who proposes the most brutal solution: dissolve deception entirely. For Tracy, it's a calculated business decision designed to protect the Quartermaine name, cut their losses, and sever all ties with Sonny's toxic influence. This suggestion, however, will undoubtedly be met with fierce resistance, particularly from the passionate and dramatic Lucy Coe, for whom deception is her life's work. This corporate implosion serves as a classic soap opera narrative device, clearing the board for new storylines. It provides the perfect vehicle for Maxie Jones's temporary departure from the show, as Kirsten Storms takes a leave of absence. It also paves the way for Brooke Lynn to return to her roots in music management, a path she is far more suited for. The fall of deception, while a professional tragedy for its founders, will force these powerful women to reinvent themselves, creating new alliances and conflicts in the ashes of their former empire. Part 5. Whispers from the Past and Threats to the Future. As these major storylines hurtle towards their climaxes, other shadows from the past are beginning to lengthen, casting doubt on everything we thought we knew. A tantalizing theory has emerged concerning the true identity of Daisy Stalker. Could it be BRITT Westbourne, Kelly Thiebaud? While believed to be dead, her demise was ambiguous enough to allow for a dramatic return. BRITT has her own painful history with a stolen embryo, having once carried a child that was not biologically hers. This shared trauma could create a twisted obsession with Daisy. Is it possible that her mother, Dr. Liesl Albrecht, Kathleen Gotti, faked BRITT's death and has her hidden away, and now BRITT has resurfaced, driven by a warped maternal instinct? Furthermore, the specter of Shiloh, the manipulative cult leader, still looms over the narrative, particularly concerning the questions surrounding Drew Kane's true identity and memories. And of course, there is Heather Weber, the infamous hook killer, a wild card whose capacity for chaos is limitless and who could resurface at any moment to throw the entire town into turmoil. Conclusion: the inevitable collision. Port Charles is a powder keg with multiple fuses burning. The secrets are too big, the stakes too high, and the characters too volatile for these crises to resolve peacefully. The coming weeks promise a cascade of confrontations and revelations that will irrevocably alter the landscape of the show. Will Willow's true nature, whether that of a vengeful mastermind or a psychologically broken woman, finally be exposed, and will she end up in a prison cell or a padded one? Can Jason Morgan, a man of shadows, protect Sasha and Daisy from an enemy whose power and reach are still unknown? And will Drew Kane's desperate attempt at redemption lead to his salvation or his ultimate downfall? The fates of these characters are inextricably linked, and as their separate worlds collide, the only certainty is that no one will emerge unscathed from the coming storm. Thanks for watching this video. Please hit the subscribe button for more updated news.